There's no question in my mind that the Vice President has been 10 years ahead of his time the last 2 decades. Therefore, I have searched my conscience long and hard and long. The question, of all the candidates for president, which one would do the most good for the people who need it most? The answer is quite clear. And I would like to add that the Supremes, Mary Wilson and Cindy Birdsong, agree and share my views completely as I've expressed them here to you today. That's why I have decided, and I'm very proud to say, I've decided to support for the candidacy for the office of President of the United States, Mr. Hubert H. Humphrey.
In the past 24 hours, have you or any of your people contacted Senator Edward Kennedy in Massachusetts?
No, sir.
Have you talked at all yourself among your own people about having him as a running mate?
No, sir.
Do you expect to talk to him?
I imagine as President of the Senate, I will see him in the Senate.
Beyond that?
I would look forward to the opportunity of visiting with a friend at any time. We've gone over this about 40 times, gentlemen. There's about as much news in this as there is in saying Christmas comes on December 25th.
You notice they're all focusing on that. All right, fine, good. Mary? All right, can I have you back?
My name is Diana Ross. I'm a singer, and I love my work very much. My work has brought me into contact with a vast segment of the American public. This same public today faces what could be the most important decision it will make for many years to come. Who should be our president? None of us, whether he's a lawyer or a mechanic or a butcher or a baker or a singer or even the unemployed, can afford to sit on the sidelines. If we expect to enjoy a full, free life, we must and should participate in history in our own time. That's why I'm here today. During the past several months, I've been able to spend some time with the Vice President of the United States. We've talked privately for hours, and I got to know part of the character and personality of the Vice President. I've thoroughly researched his record, and it's a good one of the best in many years. I feel he will do in the future. He's a courageous man. His records show he was fighting for civil rights when many of our lawmakers were very timid about the same. In 1948 and 1964 and on, 1965 and 1966, 1967 and 19... Along the Newz, I have seen our Vice President work with young people. Once in Washington at a dedication of a swimming pool. And I believe that he will continue along these lines in our nation's highest office. I've also asked him bluntly about the war in Vietnam, and he's told me his primary objective will be to stop shooting immediately. Talk later, but stop the shooting now. And I've also asked him about the ghettos. He's answered that we will immediately institute programs to eliminate hunger, reform our welfare system, set up job training programs, and rebuild our cities. I've asked him about the terrible inequities of our military draft. He told me that he intends to put into law a much fairer system so that our young men will get equal treatment.
Thank you very, very much. You're wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Well, Diana, Mary, and Cindy, and those of you that have come here to, I'm sure just to see me, to see this wonderful group of entertainers and fine people. May I first of all express to you, Diana, and to Mary and Cindy, my thanks for your thoughtful and very personal endorsement of my candidacy for the presidency of the United States. I would be less than honest with you if I didn't tell you that I'm very touched and deeply moved by the manner in which you've expressed your endorsement. You have indicated to this audience, to the reporters, to the media here in attendance and others, of our visits, of our conversations. Had you not have done so, I had intended to do so. This statement of yours, I think, indicates that you've given a great deal of thought, as you have said you have, to your endorsement. And that makes it all the more meaningful and all the more important to me, and I believe to the thousands, yes, the millions of people that admire you, that indeed look up to you and love you for all that you mean, not only in the field of your great talent as entertainers, but also as fine people and good citizens. The Supremes represent personal achievement. They also represent personal leadership for others as well as themselves. I was privileged to know these young ladies, Diana, Mary, and Cindy, not in a political forum, but in our Youth Opportunity Program. I've been chairman of the Youth Opportunity Program for the last 3 years. This is the 4th year. That program has been designed to help needy young people, to help them in education, to help them in job training and job placement, to help them in wholesome recreation, to help them. It has been a program that has been structured primarily at the local level, with some help, mayors, local officials, and others aroused as to the needs of young people and do something about it. And Diana, Mary, and Cindy have taken their I feel a greater desire and a greater commitment to be of sincere help to our young people and to this nation, more after your endorsement, believe me, than I did before, and even then my heart was filled with it. I want to say to you publicly what I said to you privately as we came to this room, that I will not let you down. I will do my very best to merit your trust. The only purpose of government, as Thomas Jefferson once put it, is the well-being and the happiness and the welfare of the people. And those of us that are privileged to serve in government have as our solemn obligation to protect the life of our people and to help enrich that life, to make it more meaningful. And everyone in this audience knows that there are millions of Americans that have been denied, through no fault of their own, some of the great privileges and opportunities and benefits of this society of ours. And it is our job, those of us that are more fortunate, to see to it that there is but one citizenship in this country, and that's first-class citizenship for everybody, and to see to it that those who have been deprived are given their chance and given a helping hand to obtain that chance, so that they too can be participants in this society of ours in all aspects of it, and also beneficiaries of the decisions that they help make. I can assure this fine group, I can assure you, Diana, Cindy, Mary, and others, that if I'm privileged to be President of the United States, I will do everything within my authority and capability of seeing to it that those who have been denied are given their chance, that those who have been deprived are given their opportunity, that these great cities of ours that today have a cancer within them known as the slum are rid of that cancer. That we not only rebuild the buildings, but we help rehabilitate lives. That's what we've got to do, and it can't be done by government alone. It's going to require the efforts of all of us, but it's going to require, first of all, a great moral commitment. It's going to require a recognition that the future of America is in its cities, where most of our people live, and unless we take care of those cities and help people in those cities live a better life and be a participant in the life of that city, that there isn't going to be any great America. The greatness of this country is in its people. The weakness of this country is in those people that are denied their chance. So I shall make it my creed, every man his chance, every man his opportunity, every person his golden opportunity to make the best of what is in him, to contribute all that they can to themselves and to their family and to their community through self-development. Well, Diana, thank you very much for what you've said. More important, that means more to me than what you've done today. And it didn't come easily. It is a fact that we talked it out, that I was asked many questions and I responded as sincerely and honestly as I could. And I look forward to working with you, and I want, if I can be one half as successful in my endeavor as you've been in yours, this election's over.
Vice President, your blunt questions about the war in Vietnam. What did he tell you? Did he say that his policy would be different from President Johnson's regarding the war?
He stated to me that, as I said to you, to stop the shooting and talk later, stop the killing completely, talk later. You know, in other words, that would be the first move.
Any more than that?
That was about it. We talked for about an hour and a half, and we talked about a lot of things. And that more and less, yeah.
Mr. Vice President, do you consider what Ms. Ross has said, what you told her, the policy of the President as well?
As I've indicated to you, I speak for myself. I've advocated a ceasefire. I've said that the environment that these discussions in Paris needs is the environment of no action, no military action. I've said that we should seek relentlessly a ceasefire. Now, I know the problems that are involved. Nevertheless, I think this is our initiative that we must take. And I have told Ms. Ross that no one in this country is more desirous of an honorable peace and the stopping of the killing than I am. I take second place to no one. I don't put myself above anyone. I think all decent and responsible people in this country want to see an end to a cruel war. It's the question and the method of how. But one thing I would say on behalf of Ms. Ross, she was not a one-issue person. She was deeply concerned about the quality of life here in America, as well as the tragic struggle that takes place in other parts of the world. And I felt that we had some meeting of the minds as to what was needed in this country of ours, what we can do for our young and what we can do for our people that are jobless and what we can do for mothers that need help and what we can do for children that are poorly cared for and need better diet and need better medical care and health care. I found a fully rounded citizen in Miss Ross, and I was deeply impressed by her broad knowledge of the problems of this nation and her interest in searching for solutions.
Mr. Vice President, do you foresee a Vietnam party plank, Mr. Vice President, that will bear the brand of Hubert Humphrey rather than LBJ?
Well, I hope that this audience will be as rounded in their citizenship as Ms. Ross was. I trust that we won't just spend our whole time on Vietnam today. There are some problems in New York City that I've seen that are rather difficult, and there's some problems in other parts of America. I think that we can find a platform plank that will express what is the desire of this nation, and the desire of this nation is an honorable peace. It's a political solution to the struggle in Vietnam. And we will be spelling out, and I have on a number of occasions, different attitudes of mine on this matter. But I shall put it all together sometime within the next 10 days in a statement on Asian policy, on my policy vis-a-vis Asia, and particularly as it relates to Southeast Asia. I don't believe that I will be helping bringing the peace, however, by tossing freely, willy-nilly, just to make myself momentarily popular. suggestions which might complicate the effort of the peacemakers in Paris. What we need is to place some faith and trust in those ambassadors that we have. I believe that if there's any two men in this country that have demonstrated over the years their desire for a peaceful world, it is Ambassador Harriman and Cyrus Vance. And those are the two men that are in Paris today seeking every way that they can to bring this war to a conclusion and find some kind of honorable settlement with which we can live. I place my trust in them, and I'm going to help them.
In that statement, are you suggesting that Mr. McCarthy is complicating the peace talks?
No, I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm simply suggesting that it's one thing to say you want peace, it's another thing to find the path to it. And if you don't think so, I ask the ambassadors that are working on it. Yes, sir.
Change the subject slightly.
Yes, sir. The gentleman standing.
Ms. Ross said that she found a need for change in the policies of the present administration. I think it would be interesting if she could tell us in which areas she feels this change is needed, and if you could comment on each of those areas.
Well, let me handle the press conference for a moment. This was the purpose of the gathering here. It'll come to Miss Ross. You just don't be impatient. Lots of time. We need to cool it a little bit.
Mr. Vice President.
May I just take care of number one? There's always change. We hope that it's for the good. Every administration is a new administration. And change comes even if those who say they're for it do nothing about it. Because this is a world in ferment, and America in ferment and change, even the impact of science and technology, the movement of people, all of this represents change. I think what Miss Ross and I were talking about, and she can speak to it herself, is the necessity of a greater emphasis upon our urban problems. The necessity of building from the experiences we have that have worked of job training and job placement. The necessity of a massive housing program in this country that will rehabilitate what we call our ghettos and make them into livable neighborhoods and communities. The necessity of recognizing in this country that there has been a pattern of racism which must be broken, and that we need to open these doors of opportunity to people not only by law but by practice. We've got civil rights laws. Now we need habits and practices where we genuinely admit
today to support our Vice President Humphrey, and I feel that giving him the opportunity, I feel that he can handle the problems that are today. I have my own personal feelings about what I feel should be changed and what needs to be changed, but that's why I leave it in his hands, and that's why I'm here, because I'm not running for President of the United States.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Vice President, a lot of stars have endorsed a lot of candidates. What made you decide to have the Supremes here today at this press conference?
I think they're wonderful people. I like good company, just like I like to have you here. What's more is they have a great following of young people that admire them and love them. I consider it a high compliment to have these young ladies say that they are for my candidacy, and it also makes me feel a greater responsibility. I feel quite sentimental about it, to be perfectly honest. I think that when somebody like Diana Ross and Cindy and Mary say to me they think I can help people that they know, the needy in this country, the young in this country that have not had a break, I think that places on me an even greater responsibility than ever before. I am a person that's concerned about human life. I am concerned about our young people. I do want them to have a chance, and I'll fight for them. And when they come here and offer their help, I feel all the more dedicated. I am not a cynic, nor am I a skeptic. I am a believer in this country, and I'm a believer in the young people of this country. And I want to see those of us that are more fortunate help those who are less fortunate. And I want to see people be able to stand on their own feet. And I'll move heaven and earth to get it done. That's why I'm happy to have them here.
Will they sing for you?
Oh, I hope so. I love their music. My goodness. Yes, sir.
Mr. Vice President, I'd like to understand a bit of magnanimity on your part where your state chairman has asked the State Democratic Committee allow members of the opposition to have more seats in the National Convention.
I didn't get your question. Would you repeat it, sir?
Will the state chairman ask that the state Democratic committee allow
What state chairman?
New York state chairman?
May I say that I have very little influence in Democratic politics in New York's state of New York. I'm hopeful to get a little more, but I haven't had too much up to now. But I've made it quite clear that I thought that there was a lack of adequate representation, particularly of two minority groups in this community, the black and the Puerto Rican. And I thought that there ought to be some reassessment of the delegates, and that some ought to step aside and given a greater opportunity for that was necessary of a detente between the Soviet Union and the United States, a closer relationship between the United States and Eastern Europe. I've discussed the whole subject of foreign aid. I've discussed the office of the presidency and my statement and speech on the open presidency. I've discussed the whole subject of civil order and civil justice. I am issuing a statement this week that will be coming out on the draft. I've made one previous statement on it, emphasizing my support of the random selection, the lottery system. I've outlined my plan for the cities, my Marshall Plan for the cities. Now, when I get somebody that's willing to discuss these issues and state their own position, we'll take a good look. Maybe we'll have some more discussions. But until that happens, I don't want to have a monologue out of it. I've stated the propositions, and now it's up to some others to come forth with their general suggestions.
Mr. Vice President, if you are the nominee of your party, will you throw open the choice of the vice presidency to the delegates at the convention as have a CBC did?
I would want very much to have something to say about that myself. I wouldn't have the controlling say necessarily, but I believe that it would be better for the presidential candidate to make known at least his views. I have a feeling that the Democratic Convention will also make known its views, but I would not hesitate to make known my views at the appropriate time. Thank you very much.
Get a song.